you, gentlemen, for being here and for the work that you've done. I think, obviously, the level of back and forth on the committee today represents some real stress in the system about the withdrawal and what it means, but also about, you know, an interest in politicizing national security issues, which I have real issues with. Can I just ask, I think, the question I get asked the most in my district about our withdrawal from Afghanistan is, are we safer now than we were on September 10th, 2001? And I believe, and I've certainly answered many veterans who have reached out, that I believe their work was valuable and worthy. We kept al-Qaeda and other groups distracted and destabilized so that we could build up our national security apparatus, our homeland security here, to make us safer. So it is, of course, hard to hear from this panel that right now we are safer, but we have to watch for the reconstitution of these terrorist groups. No one likes to hear that. I would ask that we get a classified briefing on our over-the-horizon posture, just so we understand. I understand we can't do it in open session, but just so we understand what, on this committee, what we can expect when it comes to watching those threats. So I'd ask for that commitment. But as someone who served in Iraq with the CIA, we watched the reconstitution of al-Qaeda in Western Iraq, which became ISIS. What are the tripwires, I guess Secretary Austin and then General Milley, that you are looking for that would push you to engage the White House and say, hey, we have a real problem here? What are those specific things that you're looking for that would change your assessment from one of, you know, we're all right now, to we need to take more significant military action?
Thanks. First, on your request for an over-the-horizon capability brief, we'll certainly sign up for that. I committed to the chairman to do that early on, and I'll have General McKenzie and the Joint Staff and my policy people in that brief as well.
Thank you.
In terms of specific areas that we're focused on, we're looking at their ability to develop a capability to export terror to the homeland here. Whether or not, you know, if we see senior leaders beginning to have freedom of movement in Afghanistan, if we see them developing capability in training camps and other things, if we see them moving people back and forth across international boundaries, those are things that we're looking for. And again, it will take time to develop this a true intel picture of what's going on. And we've begun that work, and we'll continue. We'll remain focused on this throughout.
General Milley.
The specific indicators and warnings I'd like to take to a different session, but in general, what we're looking for, leadership, capability, training, those sorts of things, and demonstrations of intent that al-Qaeda and or ISIS is going to do external operations against the United States or our interests. If we pick up on those, then it's our obligation to present the President with options to deal with it.
And General Milley, we've seen some reports that in our attempts to try and get over-the-horizon posture in countries around Afghanistan, that we've had discussions with the Russians about some cooperation. Can you help us understand that? For those many of us, that just gives us, like, the hair on our neck starts to go up. Can you explain to us what we're discussing with the Russians and what we are willing to do and not do with the Russians?
Again, I'd prefer to take that into a classified session. As you probably know, about a week or 10 days ago, I discussed over in Europe with the Russians, had a session with 32 Chads and from all the European NATO nations, and then I had a separate session with my counterpart, General Gerasimov. And I can talk to you in a classified session about that, but in the main, we're not asking permission, we're not negotiating, I guess is the word, but President Putin and President Biden had a conversation, and I was following up on that conversation at other direction.
Thank you.
Direction of my superiors.
I would just say, I think given that it's not permissible right now to share classified information, this committee should be informed should there be any movement towards that with the Russians.
Thank you. Gentlelady's time has expired, and we've had classified we will have continued classified briefs, as we have said, as many members have said, I think accurately. The counterterrorism strategy in South Asia is going to be a crucial policy issue for all of us to deal with going forward. Ms. Cheney is recognized.